it can rob you of your confidence, your self-confidence. Throughout my childhood, pain has been the biggest factor. It's been really bad, and obviously I had to go into a hospital with crisis. A crisis is a prolonged period of pain. If it's gone on for a very long time, that's when I'd need to go into the hospital and get treated. I was initially admitted and I was in the hospital for a week. I was discharged. The pain wasn't really controlled and I had to come again for another few days. Now, that would be the worst. Aside from the pain, it's just the tiredness. I always feel fatigued. In school, like staying concentrated in lessons, engaging with conversations with my friends, it's become a huge challenge for me. Last year, I was doing a really important exam that would possibly determine what I'd be doing for the rest of my life. That was a very stressful time. I was ill for quite a lot of it actually, and I just had to keep on going. It took a lot of mental strength to really get through that period, and I think I'm proud of myself for that, I'd say. Mental and emotional factors contribute to the physical sides of things. If I get stressed, it can bring about a crisis. One of the things of living with sickle cell is understanding your own pace and really coming to understand that you can't always compare yourself to other people. You have to really understand your health and who you are as a person. It has almost held me back from doing some things that I wanted to do. Being a teenager in general, I think, is a bit difficult, but with sickle cell, it comes with its own challenges. I mean, you want to go out, you want to stay out as long as your friends, but there's other things to think about as well with sickle cell. Even before you leave the house, you have to think about what the weather's gonna be like, how many layers I have to wear, drinking, but I don't let that really stop me from going out and having a good time. For the teenagers living with sickle cell and the young people, don't let sickle cell hold you back from your dreams or aspirations, because you can achieve anything you want to achieve, as corny as it sounds. Just don't give up, you can do it. It will be difficult, but you can do it.
Okay? So whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. And that's something that I have to try and do. Take cheerfully. Alright? And be patient and suffer when thou art changed to a low state. Okay? So that could be health-wise, like me. That could be job-wise. That could be your woman or your husband or whatever. You could be a woman in this truth, and your husband or your partner is just in the world, whatever. Well, it tells you, I think it's in the book of Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, is it? Or 1 Corinthians 7. You being in this truth, and if you grow in this truth and this knowledge, you might persuade your partner. He might see the change in you, and then he might come into this. There's a family that is into this truth, and there's about a good 12 of them, man. You know? And and they visited brothers down there in South Carolina, and I saw that video, man. And me and loads of brothers and sisters that saw that, we all shed tears over that, man. Seeing a family of 12, I was about 12, 13 of them. It was the father, his woman first came into it, then he came into it, then he has a daughter, then he has a sister, then they have a grandmother, then the grandmother showed her friend, and her friend had a daughter, and they were all in it, you know? So that's beautiful, man. You know, now because they're in this truth, if the Lord puts hell on them, they have to be patient when they go to a lower state. Same with you. Alright, and same with me, man. Alright, chapter 2, verse 5, Ecclesiastes 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So that's what the Lord gave unto me, these 2 hospital missions, adversity, man. And believe me, it was adversity, man. You know?
Is it Emmanuel?
Hi Alex, nice to meet you.
Hi, how's it going?
Nice to meet you. Good,
Lovely
thanks.
to meet you. So what's happening tonight?
Oh, well, today we're running a exercise and fitness program. It's designed for 9 to 14-year-olds, basically giving them tips on exercise and well-being. For me, it's an excellent opportunity for me to give back to my community. I can give the kids a lot of my life experience and help motivate and encourage them. It also gives me the opportunity to enjoy something that I love doing, which is work, but it's not work, and it therefore means it's less stressful, and that actually helps me from not having crises. I was told that I shouldn't play rugby, I shouldn't play sports, I shouldn't do athletics, and as a young kid growing up, I just wanted to be like all my school friends. I was told that I'd live up until I'm 30, all these sort of myths. So I would play rugby and be out on a cold rugby pitch, even if it did mean me having a crisis, because I wanted to fit in. Unfortunately, at the age of 13, I had a chest crisis with pneumonia, and I actually died at King's College Hospital. But I was resuscitated, and when I came out of the coma, I had to learn how to walk again. I started off in a wheelchair, and I remember at 13 years old, I would wheel myself down, I think, 4 flights of stairs at King's College Hospital on all the ramps. I kept on doing it every day, and that's when I first started feeling my muscles sort of burning. And then from the wheelchair, I went to crutches, and then from crutches to a Zimmer frame until I walked out of that hospital. And so that's my first, that's my first ideal of discipline and training and routine. And it started from there, actually. Yeah. Because I look fit and healthy and muscular, I've gone to hospital in crisis and been refused treatment. They've told me that I can't have sickle cell because of the way I look. I've also been treated as if I'm a drug seeker. Honestly, I wouldn't wish that pain on my worst enemy, and to go to a place where you're going to seek help and pain relief when you're going through that, to be denied it because of a stigma is awful. It's a serious burden, and people that have it, they have to remember that they're going through that, and there's an ultimate purpose to that. And with sickle cell, you're built to have resilience and persevere. And that is character building, you know? So everything I do now is through those experiences.
Emmanuel, amazing, thank you. How painful are the crises?
The pain is unbearable, to be honest. When I'm feeling a bit emotional now. Because it's bad. Like you can't. Well, the way I describe it is it's bone. So it's not like muscle ache. It's in your bone. Like, so it's in the bone, and it's as if somebody is using a chisel and hammering into your bone. I'll be honest with you, I will now not be doing what I'm doing and working with these kids if I didn't lose the vision in my left eye through the vitreous bleed that I had because of the sickle cell. You know, I lost my confidence, and so I had to go back into the gym, start working out, and it's that path that now led me to do what I'm doing. So even though I had that trauma and I've even lost my sight, my life has still benefited. If I had one thing to say to the world, it would to be to the other people that have sickle cell. I will say my brothers and sisters, yeah? I share your pain, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. I know exactly where you've been. I know your uncertainty. I know you question yourself, why you? You know, the only thing that I can say is that God has a purpose for you, and everything you're going through is building your strength, it's building your character, it's giving you resilience, it's giving you perseverance. And when you get knocked down, you have to get back up. And that's the one thing that I've learned with having the disease.
No começo foi difícil porque não acreditavam muito por eu ser branco, olho claro, minha família ser toda branca. Eles fizeram vários testes para poder saber o que eu tinha, mas descartando a doença falciforme, porque vinha de negros. Depois de um bom tempo, um médico pediu para fazer tal exame e foi quando deu positivo.
Not only the doctors didn't believe you had the disease, so refused to accept the test which showed you had the disease because you're white and not black, and the children around you, your children, fellow pupils at school, they saw you were ill and so stigmatized you because of that as well.
Comecei a frequentar a escola, conviver com outras pessoas, aí foi difícil. Eu não queria aceitar, eu não gostava daquilo porque tinha um certo preconceito, porque eu era bem amarelo e dava para perceber que eu tinha uma doença. Meus pais sempre estavam perto na saúde, na doença, e eles falavam que não era nada que pudesse me impedir de fazer algo, e que eu sempre sempre teria pessoas piores que eu. E eu fui crescendo com isso. E até que eu fui sonhando, fui pensando que um dia eu poderia ser melhor, um dia eu ia ser aceito na sociedade, na minha vida. E eu fui deixando para lá, esquecendo de lado as coisas ruins, negativas, e fui tentando me manter sempre lutando com a doença.
So why has this year been more intense, do you think, for the disease for your brother?
Meu pai e minha mãe não sabiam que eles tinham um traço. Meu pai e minha mãe não sabiam que tinha um traço. Aí quando me tiveram e viram que eu tinha a doença, as chances de ter outro filho com a doença e o segundo, o terceiro filho eram grandes. Aí, no caso, meu terceiro irmão, o mais novo, o caçula, ele teve a doença mais aguda, mais forte nele. A doença foi mais severa com ele do que comigo.
Yargo, your story is so important it needs to be shared with the rest of the world.
The Sickle disease, don't stop me. I'm dreaming, and I'm not with I'm stay in home. It don't matter. I know the limitation with my disease, but it don't stop me.
You fought all these battles with sickle cell disease. You fought against the doctors to get a diagnosis. You fought against the disease itself. You fought against stigma and discrimination by people around. What's next?
Still strong, keeping walking, keeping moving, move on. My life is very good. I praise the God. I thank you.
Especially because there's a stigma about us. And in fact, a young Edomite paramedic who's training, she actually told me that an Israelite woman, a black woman, came to her school and spoke about sickle cell and said that it's one of the most terrible things that this government is doing to black people in this country is mistreating them in the hospital. And that's true. Alright, same with our women. When they go in for gynecology problems or maternity, black women have been dying in England. In fact, there was a conference on it and my cousin went to it. because he's into diversity. See, what does that show you? That just shows you that they look at you as the lowest of the low, man. Okay? So why do you, I just don't understand why you Israelites keep sticking up for them, loving them, wanting to be like them, like Jungle Book, walk like them, talk like them. You know? You're not supposed to be like that, man. Alright? You're supposed to be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. Strive for it at least, man. Alright? Ecclesiastes 2:6. Believe in him and he will help thee. Did not the Lord help me? Oh my God. That pain was real, man. That pain was real. He did help me. Thank God I didn't have it for longer. Alright? Order thy way right, alright, and trust in him. And I did. That's why I was saying his name I hesitated at first. That's something I'm not gonna do. I don't give two shits who's there, man. You know? And it's the same with one of our women said the same thing in a video, man. Alright? Anyway, let me just get on to this. Verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Alright, so don't think, oh, the Lord's taking so long, forget this. You know? I don't believe in him no more. Once you utter those words out your mouth, believe me, you're gone, man. Alright? And no excuses, man. Verse 8. Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. That's right, man. Because I know that I'm doing what the Lord wants me to do. I know I need to do a lot more, a lot better. But I know. So I knew he's not going to let them, mangle me somewhere or, you know. Ecclesiastes 2, verse 9. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. And the Lord has had mercy on us, man. Alright? Verse 10. Look at the generations of old. And you can see that in the Bible, man. Jeremiah and Job. Especially Job. He went through hell. The Lord took everything away from him, but gave him back a lot more. So he increased in the last end. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Say, if you fear him, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? You know? So our forefathers, listen, the Lord never failed them. Nothing new under the sun. He's not going to fail us. Alright? I'm telling you, these Israelites, they're faithless, man. You know? A nurse said that to me. She might be one of our women, but she knows that we're Israelites and she's an actual African. She was from Ethiopia. I've met her before. And I remember when she saw me, she said to me, because of this stigma that people have with sickle cell, yeah? She said, listen, if you ask for medication and you don't need it, you don't have to take it. And I'm looking at her like, but again, as I said, the stigma, remember I told you about the stigma of sickle cell is that we're drug addicts or something. So, well, you know when she said that, I just, like sometimes in this truth, sometimes you have to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. And I say, this woman's going to look after me all day. From 8 to 8. So, hey, I never said anything. I just looked at her and smiled or whatever. But she told me some good stuff, because a lot of people from Ethiopia, some of them are our people. We know that. Isaiah 11:11. Okay? Ecclesiastes 2:11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering. Alright? Long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in a time of affliction. See? So that's what and boy was he afflicted me. Alright? He afflicted me, and boy, that affliction, you don't want that, man. You know what I mean? You know? The things we're suffering now is because of us being on the left-hand side, doing what Satan wanted rather than what the right-hand side, which is, Yahushua and the angels. You know? If we all obeyed the Lord, we wouldn't be in this mess. You know? Ecclesiastes 12:2-12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. See, you can't be double-minded. Alright? So you're in this thing for the long run. You know? And when them thoughts come in your head, I had them thoughts just so I was looking at reflexology and stuff. I was looking at them thoughts in my head, man. You know? Oh yeah, I got to do this video, I got to do this. Well, let me do this first, that first. No. God makes sure I do the video first, nigga. You know? You see? So every day is a fight and a battle, man. But as I said, that this woman, this nurse that looked after me, alright? She's Ethiopian, and she knows that she's totally different people. Totally different people. I've met her before. She goes, remember me? I said, yeah, I do. And I remember when I first met her, she knows that Israelites, that's who we are. She knows that Ethiopians are totally different. But if you go to Isaiah 11, alright, verse 11, it tells you that God is going to gather a remnant of Israelites from different countries, alright, from different nations. So within the nation of Cush, which is hers, alright, which are Hamites, okay, there is loads of Israelites, man. And she said to me, they're going to take my job because I have to take the so-called vaccine or whatever. And she goes, they're making it mandatory. If I don't take it, I'll lose my job. I said, no. Well, all you can do is you can have faith in the Lord, alright, because you know that there's something wrong with this. You can have faith in the Lord, alright, let them take your job, and have faith that the Lord will give you a new one. You know? But people are caving in already. It's crazy, man. You know? See, look, Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass that the Lord will set his hand a second time to recover a remnant of his people shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, from Pathros, and from Cush. Who are Cushites today? Ethiopians, Somalians, and Eritreans. So among them are our people, man. Okay? And they got a war there right now, and she was telling me a lot of things about the war because that wicked country of Babylon the Great is spreading wild rumors and helping the opposition. You see? Okay? So, you have to understand that everything we're going through, everything I'm going through, alright, is down to the Lord punishing us for what we've done wrong. But we have to be patient when we go to a lower state, and also when we're suffering, we have to do this as well. 1 Thessalonians 5:14. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. Okay? Alright? Verse 15. Alright? See that none render evil for evil. There's nothing wrong with self-defense, but if a man does you wrong, you trying to get back at them, this, that, and the other. This, that, and the other. Oh, I'm going to stab him, that. Because that never ends. And that's how we were in the Middle Ages. We were always warring all the time. The English, the Anglo-Saxons, and the Scots, the Anglo-Saxons were Judah, and Benjamin were the Scots. They always warred so much that they forgot that they were brother and sister anymore. You know? Same with the Israelites in England and the Israelites in France. You know? Because we were the foremost power that time. Right? So don't render evil for evil, both among yourselves and to all men. And to all men, man. So in this time coming when people do wicked shit to us, we're just gonna have to take it, man. Alright? There's nothing wrong with self-defense. You know? Nothing wrong with defending yourself. But, oh yeah, I know where this guy lives, I'm gonna get it back. No. Alright? Because if you do that, what? Remember, the Lord said he's gonna give us, Lord willing, I'm with that, spiritual powers, and we're gonna destroy people even just by looking at them. You know? So we have to discipline ourselves now to get that reward. Alright? Verse 16. Alright? Rejoice evermore. Okay? Pray without ceasing. So this is from Paul, what he's saying to the Israelites over there in Greece, in Thessalonica. Alright? He said, pray without ceasing. Verse 18, in everything give thanks. So even when I was in hospital in pain, I had to give thanks to the Lord. For this is the will of Yahweh in Mashiach Yahushua concerning you. You see? Now that sounds deep, isn't it? Pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks. So in this truth, a lot of our women, a lot of our people, you're gonna go through bad things, but you still have to give the Lord thanks, man. That's something deep to think about, man. You know? That's gonna separate the ones who really believe and the ones who know that the Lord is there, compared to the ones like my mum who don't really believe in the Lord, man. And she doesn't believe in the Lord, man. Alright? I remember a couple of years ago, I had a fire and I had to stay at her. And I said, man, I've had a fire, my health is this and that, money problems. I feel like Job. Her reaction was, ah! To scream and shout, man. She didn't say amen or whatever. She screamed and shouted. Because she's not of Yahweh Shemir Shai. Okay? Alright? Now I'm going to do another video tomorrow. And it's mainly, I'm just going to touch on something for our women, to warn our women. Because a couple of things happened when I was in hospital that needs to be highlighted as edification for our women. Because the time we're coming in, the people that are going to suffer is women and children, man. They're going to suffer the most, man. Alright? And I'm telling you, man, we've had a sister in this truth gave us did a video on a dream that she had, and it's a serious dream, so we're going to touch on that. And I'm going to touch on a wicked, well, a really heartless, I would call her a black woman that I had looking after me the second time I was in hospital. She was very heartless, very cold. And I had a cleaner as well, who, when I was in my room and I was praying, I was on my knees. And I said, I'm just praying. She goes, well, I have to clean the place, you know? You continue playing. She could have easily gone to the next person, you know, to the next room, next hospital bed, and cleaned up and then come back to me. And these two people that I had these bad experiences with were black women. I'm not going to call them Israelite women, because that's a disrespect to our women that are in this truth. You know, these are brute beasts, you know. And believe me, man, hell is not coming, it's here. So we're going to highlight the dream that this sister had, and we're going to go into the scriptures to warn our women of what's coming, and to edify them and I hope this was edifying, and hopefully I'll do more videos. Thank you everyone for your comments, your prayers, your everything, man. It really meant a lot for me. It really meant a lot to me, man, to be in hospital. And that's why there was one day I just said, let me just try and do a couple of videos in hospital, and I did, you know. But I give all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh Bashim Yashai, double honor to Apostle Elsewhere, and also honorable well. Salutations to the Akim Chief's word and spirit and truth. Blessings to the elect and 1/3 per saved. Stay in the truth, stay strong, stay in the Lord. Shalom.